Adjust those headphones, get locked in your gaming chair, get the caffeine flowing, and get ready for a crosshair conversation with Chrissy. You ready to load in? Hey guys, ChrissyHQ here, or Crystal, and if you don't know who I am or what this podcast is all about, that is all explained back in episode 1. So go back, check it out, enjoy, and then you'll know everything. I'm excited though, because this is episode 2, and I explained this podcast is something new for me, right? And I'm just excited because I've continued this journey and I'm still going forth with it. Like in 2023, I learned a lot. I learned to take pride in what I'm doing, find joy in what I'm doing, and be self motivated. And unfortunately, I'm one of those people that shoots for the stars, but sets up goals that are a lot of the times unattainable or gives myself timelines that are unattainable. And that makes me super discouraged. And I tend to just give up projects. I just end, I don't go back, whatever, you know? And my goals are always super detailed. And like I said, they're beyond the stars. So the fact that I've made it to episode 2 and there are already pre-scheduled and pre-recorded episodes after this is so exciting. So we're continuing. I'm really happy. It's been a struggle with the tech issues and just motivation sometimes, but I'm so excited for this podcast. So thank you so much if you came back from episode 1 or if you're just now tuning in with me for the first time. I couldn't do this without you guys because I'd just be talking to myself, which I guess I'm kind of just talking to myself. But like I said, I've continued with all the issues that I've gone through and filming episodes. This is a win for me. I'm learning to take the wins as they come, you know, kind of like checkpoints in a video game where you stop, you save your progress, you reflect on what you've done and continue with the materials or the loot that you've gathered. That's something that's kind of helping me create this journey, like step by step. And 2024, let me tell you, 2024 is exciting because I can't wait to use all the new skills that I've not perfected, but I've learned and what's the word? I've expanded. I've gotten to know myself more throughout 2023. I'm getting closer and closer to my personal big goals, like kind of like the final boss of my career, but not really the final boss, but like one of the big bosses, you know? I've got some pretty serious goals and eventually I'll share them with you guys. I will. But um I'm a little shy right now, but once I'm confident in this new mindset and finding out what makes me happy and what's ahead and you know, live streaming is a huge part of the entertainment industry and that's a huge thing that I do as well as the podcast and short form content and long form YouTube content. But with the entertainment industry comes the ups and the downs. Some things you can control and a lot of things that you can't. And that's something everyone in this industry deals with. Me personally, my New Year's resolution is trying to control my attitude. Over the past few years, I've definitely earned, gained, accumulated. I don't know. I have an attitude lately, and mostly towards things I can't control, just things that happen throughout the day. And that's been a kind of a really big struggle. People tell me all the time that I seem way more angry than I should, and just things like that. So, with that being said, like I said, it's something everyone in the entertainment industry goes through. Shout out to Erica Jane. This is like a sidebar, but Erica Jane has been through the fire for the past couple of years. And it's kind of awesome to see that she now has her own residency in Las Vegas. I pray I get to a show sometime. That would be absolutely amazing. She's, like I said, we've all got our flaws, but she is 100% one of my inspirations. There's a lot of them, but one of my inspirations to just keep going. Like I've heard her story. I heard what she went through. I followed the court cases. Obviously, I watched The Real Housewives, you know, and just seeing that she never gave up, she thrived through whatever she was doing. You could see like she reversed the bad headspace she was in, and that was awesome. I loved that. And speaking of being in a bad headspace, some people may call that like struggling with mental health, right? I think they're like kind of the same thing. Sometimes I use the term bad headspace, like I'm just in a bad headspace today, or sometimes I'd be like it's just a bad mental health day. I think they coincide. So that's what I mean when I use those words, you know? But unfortunately, 1 in 4 American adults do suffer from a diagnosable mental disorder, and 10 will suffer from a depressive illness, such as major depression, bipolar disorder. And honestly, those are just American adult stats from 2023. Some of you that are listening may be in other countries, and there may even be teenagers that are listening or watching. And so I don't believe that those statistics are 100% accurate, but still kind of scary. But not scary to the point where there's like nothing we can do about them. I think that a lot of people don't get diagnosed, and a lot of people don't think that they might have a mental health issue. Or, I think that some people just wake up and be like, oh, this is just a bad day, when it could be something a lot more than that. And it's not ever something to be ashamed of. Now, me personally, I myself, I have been diagnosed with a mental disorder. I'll be the first to admit it. I'm not going to give you all details, at least not now, but that was over a decade ago when I was tested and I was diagnosed. And I will admit, I went out to seek help, and I've definitely dropped the ball. I've tried self healing and tried unhealthy selective coping mechanisms as well. And one day I will go back and fully find a good way to help and live and heal that part of my life. But one thing in these past few years that has helped me in many different aspects is gaming. So let's talk about the positive aspects of gaming for mental health healing. When used correctly, I think gaming can be great. I think it can help create an escape, a relaxing environment, and it can help you release the hold of the pressure that like daily life just has on a lot of us from day to day. It's a thing we all struggle with. Gaming can be used as like trauma recovery sometimes, or making a distraction from the mental cloud that may hang over your head. And now let me be clear. Hold on. When I say that, some people might get the wrong idea. A distraction from something and using gaming for a distraction is never a good, like, that's not a way to up and just not address the problem and just ditch the issue, you know? But I think that it is a good way to take a break, clear your mind, clear your thinking, and that, through the game, at least for me, it gives me a moment to take my mind off of the current issue. If I've had like the worst day ever, everything has gone wrong, and I don't know where I'm going with things, I will pull up Valorant, which also like makes me rage, but it is something I still enjoy. And it takes my mind off of all the things that happened during the day. Now, it doesn't make me forget that I have phone calls to make the next day, emails to send, and different things to take care of the problem. But it gives me a moment where I'm not just sitting there and hyperfixated on the issue and crying and can't think straight. It gives me a chance to get my mind off of it. Like like I said, a break. So that when I come back, I'm not totally overwhelmed, and I feel like I can start creating a plan. Now, some people may assume that gamers are isolated, we're loners. We've all heard the go touch grass comments, and some may think we might lack social skills, but I believe, honestly, we're kind of the opposite. Gaming can be a positive outfit for so outfit? Nope. Outlet. Gaming can be a positive outlet for so many of us, but like also provide a sense of community and accomplishment. Like, I'm sure there are many of you out there that can like attest to this. You have friends that are online friends you've never met in real life, and the relationships that you have taught you a lot. Like what not to do, and things like that, what to do. And I know they've helped you with different situations, or just as someone to just chat with about whatever you're into. Like, I'm into reality TV and pop culture, and I've met some awesome people online that I can just have those free, open conversations with. But people in my IRL life, I don't really have people that have the same hobbies with me. So it's kind of like another way of an outlet. Now, online relationships can totally be full of drama, just like IRL relationships, like at work and at school. But the stigma that all gamers are hiding in the basement in the dark, grinding at games for hours, it needs to be broken. We have social skills. I mean, I'm sitting here talking to you now, or at least I might be talking to you, but right now I'm talking to me. But you understand. You understand. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about multiplayer games, right? They provide so many opportunities for social interaction. I get it. I get that there's toxic lobbies, Call of Duty, Valorant Ranked, League of Legends. I'm looking at y'all. But honestly, that's why I solo queue a lot, because it just gives me the opportunity to meet new people, but also gives me the freedom to leave a lobby if I need to. If you're squatted up with some people and someone else that's not part of the squad is being toxic, you might feel pressured to have to stay and stick it out. And maybe you might not feel comfortable talking about how you feel about the comments they're making because you're with another group of people. So I like solo queuing because I can kind of control how I feel and how I connect with others. I love talking, I love meeting new people, I love interacting, social interaction. We've got it. That's the point of that. But now the downside to gaming, and the downside to gaming and affecting mental health. It can be a gaming addiction. And I really feel like cyberbullying, sometimes relying too much on your virtual life and disconnecting too hard from reality. Those are some big heavy hitters that can be issues with mental health and gaming. It's crucial to just be aware of your mental well-being and to find a balance. Just find a balance of life and gaming and, your mental well-being. It's very crucial. Cyberbullying, never ever feel like you have to listen. That's the huge thing about the internet. It hurts, don't get me wrong. I get the plus size girl comments all the time. I get the racist comments all the time. Sometimes people even come at me for living in the Midwest. It takes nothing to delete those comments or to block or ban someone. And yes, it's hard. Trust me, I feel there are some days where I can't even do that because I'm just like, ugh, I feel like I'm banned 17 people today. Should I, like, maybe I am really like what they're saying. Maybe I should change something. And that's not good to let cyber bullies have you change your life. That's not okay. And relying too much on your virtual life. We've talked about IRL friends and we've talked about online friends and how, both have their benefits, but both also have their downsides. I don't know about you, but there was a time in my gaming career where if the squad wasn't on, I couldn't game. And if I couldn't game, I couldn't stream because I don't do just chatting. And so that was just relying too much on online presence or on online, what am I trying to say? On the virtual life. It was just relying too much. And then disconnecting from reality. Now, I have definitely also struggled with that. As using gaming as a distraction from life, I have sometimes been in my house for a week to date, editing, which is great, that's work, but also gaming, chilling out on Discord, watching YouTube, and not ever going outside, not ever doing anything, And I know that I just said we are social people and can be, but sometimes you can just get wrapped up in the metaverse, in the cyber world, and it's good to keep a watch on that as well. So there are upsides and there are downsides. And like I said, it's good to find a balance between gaming and other aspects of life. But how do we do that? It's something I need to work on myself. There's a lot of different things, but setting time limits and taking breaks. I brought up Valorant. Currently, Valorant is my favorite game, and I want to get good so bad, like to the point I have aim labs now, and I grind Valorant. But to get to whatever rank I want to shoot for, I spend hours and hours just sitting here grinding. And all of a sudden, I'll snap out of it and realize it's 10, sometimes 11, maybe even after midnight. I haven't eaten. I haven't checked up on my college coursework. I haven't done any actual editing. And I've neglected the things in my life that I need to get done. And I've sat for so long in a chair hunched over, and it's just not good for your health. It's not good for your mental. So let's not let the gamers need to touch grass motto be reality. But I'm not saying like we shouldn't touch grass. I'm also not saying go join CrossFit, go jump into P90X, sell your PC. I'm definitely not saying that. But I will say your girl is looking at Pilates. If you have any tips for that, drop them in the comments. But that's beside the point. I'm saying like stretch breaks, little things, daily walks, adding just a little bit more physical activity to your life instead of bed to fridge to chair to fridge to bed. That's my daily. That's just not healthy though. But also never ever ever be ashamed or discouraged to seek professional help for any mental problems that you may be having. If you're having a bad mental health day and it turns into another bad mental health day and you find yourself starting to spiral. I use that word, that is like my key term, is the spiral. Um, if you catch yourself starting to do that, seeking support from friends, family, IRL, or virtual is always great, but for some reason, seeking professional help can be seen as such a negative. And I want to let you guys know that that's not true. I've tried counseling. I don't want to say I failed. I just want to like you have to try a few sometimes. You have to try different locations. You have to try different. There are websites now. You can do them virtual. And I've finally come with one I like, and I think might actually be working out for me. But it is a work. You have to work for the things you want, and if you want to be mentally healthy, you have to work for it, but also don't think of it as a negative. We all could use some help. And like I said, without dropping any sites names, because I'm not sponsored, if you guys want to know more about the online counseling services that are available, you can DM me, shoot me a message, IG, Twitter, drop a comment down below, something like that. And I can definitely refer you to some places. But again, not sponsored, but you can always reach out. I don't know. I kind of went off on a tangent here. I definitely had a plan with this podcast, but I feel like this has been a really good talk. And now that we're thinking about leveling up our minds, I just want you guys to never forget and remember that your mental health matters. Gaming can be a positive force in your life if used in the correct way, and it takes time to power down and log off, but sometimes you just have to do that. Now, it's time for me to power down and log off. I'm ChrissyHQ, and I hope to see some comments and some active activity on these accounts for the podcast, but I'll catch you guys next time for the next episode, and yeah, I'm out. Bye.